Welcome to Catholic Answers Live, the program where you participate with your questions about apologetics and evangelization, including the most important theological, spiritual, moral, and social issues facing the world today. Call now with your question for today's guest. Toll free 1-888-31-TRUTH. That's 888-318-7884. Now, from San Diego, Catholic Answers Live.
Hello and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Tim Staples, and I'm sitting here with the founder of Catholic Answers and our senior fellow who often, or not often, but also happens to be a good fellow, and that is Karl Keating. This first hour, we're having an open forum. That means you can call in and ask whatever question you would like to ask about our Catholic faith, be it faith, morals, our practice as Catholics, what we do, what we teach. We want to hear from you right now, though, if you'd like to get on the air with Karl Keating. That number, once again, is 888-318-7884 or 888-31-TRUTH. But with that, we're going to get right to the phone lines. Let's go to our old friend, Anonymous, calling from Dallas, Texas, listening on Guadalupe Radio. Hello, Anonymous.
Hey, how's it going?
It is going well. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, what's your question for Karl?
I have a question about, I'm a Catholic convert from about 6 years. I'm trying to understand more about the purgatorial state. And what I'm trying to find out is that we're born out of nothingness into a body which is attached to original sin. When I pass, is the original sin attached to the body? Is it attached to our spirit? Is it attached to both?
All right. Anonymous, sin of any sort is attached, if we want to use that word, attached to the soul, not to the body per se. This is why a spirit such as an angel could commit a sin, all right? And some of the angels did at the beginning of everything. It's a spirit that is capable of making a bad choice, of sinning. And so original sin is something that attaches to the human soul. And it inheres in the human soul at the first moment of our conception. And that's been true for everyone in history except, of course, at the very beginning, Adam and Eve, later on, the Virgin Mary, and, of course, our Lord himself. But aside from those four, we all contracted original sin at the instant of our conception. But that sin, we might say, resides in the soul, not in the body per se. And so that's something that the effects of which we have, throughout our lives, throughout our existence. Our first parents, having botched things for us at the very beginning, threw away preternatural gifts that they were blessed with, such as perfect use of their reason, immortality, and so forth, control of their passions. And the rest of us, their descendants, have been suffering from the absence of those things ever since. But one of the other things, the biggest thing really that they threw away by sinning was sanctifying grace. So they originally had that from the first moment of their creation. So when we're born, we don't have any grace in our souls. We're graceless. And we're also suffering from these other defects. So at baptism, we first get grace. That's the first time the grace is brought into us. And then from there on, we try to live a life of holiness and try to come back to a grace-filled life every time we fall. Is that helping you, Anonymous?
And I think did you have a follow-up, Anonymous, real quick, as this relates to purgatory? Was that the question?
Yeah, I'm just trying to sort out in my mind between punishment and purification in the purgatorial state. And I understand it's more of a purification. I've read some online apps or phone apps recently that kind of tend to say it's punishment that is inflicted on us in I guess purgatory. So it kind of is confusing a little bit.
Okay. Well, that's because it's both.
That's right.
The purification comes through the punishment. Imagine, if you will, a prisoner in a prison who, over the course of his incarceration, reforms precisely through the incarceration. In a way, that's what we're looking at here with purgatory. We get to purgatory, if we get there at all, only because there's already grace in our souls. So we're bound for heaven. But we're still in an imperfect state. We don't have a perfect love for God. We still have some affection for some sins at the moment of our death. And those imperfections need to be gotten rid of. And that they're gotten rid of in purgatory through the very process of undergoing a kind of punishment, the chief of which in purgatory is absence from heaven. Knowing that had you lived your life as you could have and as the great saints have lived their lives, at the moment of death you could have gone straight to heaven and seen God directly right then, rather than having this indeterminate period of time of purification in purgatory.
Thank you, Anonymous. Thanks for your call.